In the heart of the misty Blue Ridge Mountains, where the ancient oaks whispered secrets to the wind, a young Cherokee boy named Tsisdu stood at the edge of a roaring river. Water crashed like thunder, daring him to water crashed like thunder, daring him to cross. But on the other side lay his village's sacred hunting grounds, stolen by outsiders who claimed the land with paper and guns. Tsisdu's fists clenched. "This is ours," he muttered, his eyes fierce as an eagle's. What would you do if everything you loved was slipping away? Would you fight or fade into the shadows? This is the tale of Tsisdu, the rabbit who roared, a story of courage that echoes through the Cherokee hills even today. Long ago, in the time when the Cherokee people lived in harmony with the Great Spirit, the land was alive with stories. The rivers sang songs of plenty, the forest offered berries and deer, and the mountains stood as guardians. The Cherokees believed in the balance of all things: the wolf and the deer, the sun and the moon, the warrior and the elder. But balance can be broken, and when it is, one must fight to restore it. Tsisdu was born under a full moon in a small village nestled in the valleys of what is now called Georgia. His name meant rabbit in the Cherokee tongue, given because he was small and quick, darting through the woods like a shadow. But rabbits, as the old tales say, are clever survivors. They don't have the strength of bears or the speed of wolves, yet they endure. Tsisdu's father, a wise hunter named Galilahi, meaning attractive one, taught him the ways of the land. "The earth is our mother," Galilahi would say, sitting by the fire as flames danced like spirits. "She gives us life, but we must protect her. Fight for what is yours, my son, or the wind will carry it away." Tsisdu grew up listening to the elders' stories around the council fire. They spoke of Sequoia, the great inventor of the Cherokee syllabary, who fought not with arrows but with words to preserve their voice. They told of the Trail of Tears, a dark path where ancestors walked in sorrow, forced from their homes by greed. But even in pain, the Cherokees fought, with resilience, with songs, with unbreakable spirit. "We are the principal people," the elders said. "Anivuya, we do not bow easily." As Tsisdu turned 12 winters old, trouble came like a storm cloud. White settlers from the east arrived with wagons and promises. They called themselves pioneers, but to the Cherokees, they were intruders. These men dug into the earth for gold, chopping down sacred trees and fencing off rivers. The village chief, an old woman named Amma, meaning water, tried to reason with them. "This land has been ours since the Creator shaped it from clay," she said, her voice steady as a drumbeat. But the settlers laughed. "We have papers from the government," they replied. "This is ours now." One day the settlers built a dam on the river that fed the village's fields. The water slowed to a trickle, and crops withered like forgotten dreams. Fish vanished, and hunger crept in like a sly fox. Tsisdu's mother fell ill from the bad water, her cough echoing through their small cabin. "We must fight," Tsisdu whispered to his father one night, as stars watched from above. Galilahi nodded, his eyes heavy. "But how, little rabbit? They have guns. We have bows." Tsisdu remembered the Cherokee legend of the little people, the Yunwi Sunzdi, tiny guardians of the forest who helped those pure of heart. He dreamed of them that night, small figures with long hair, dancing in the moonlight. "Fight with what you have," they seemed to say. "Cleverness is your weapon." When he woke, a fire burned in his chest. He would not let his people fade. The next morning, Tsisdu slipped into the woods alone. He gathered herbs his grandmother had taught him about. Ginseng for strength, willow bark for pain. He made a pouch and tied it to his belt. Then he climbed the highest hill, where the wind spirits lived. There he prayed to the Great Spirit, Unatlanvi. "Give me the courage of the bear, the wisdom of the owl, and the speed of the deer," he said. The wind answered with a gentle rustle, as if approving. Back in the village, the elders gathered. Amma spoke of peace talks, but the young warriors grumbled. "Words won't move mountains," one said. Tsisdu stepped forward, small but bold. "Let me go to the settlers' camp," he offered. "I am just a boy. They won't fear me." The villagers whispered. Was this rabbit crazy? But Galilahi placed a hand on his shoulder. "Go, my son. Fight for what is yours. Under the cover of dusk, Tsisdu crept toward the settlers' camp. Fires flickered like angry eyes and men laughed around them, sharing stories of conquest. Tsisdu hid in the bushes, watching. He saw their leader, a tall man with a beard like tangled roots, named Harlan. Harlan held a map pointing to the river. "We'll divert more water tomorrow," he boomed. "This gold will make us rich." Tsisdu's heart pounded. He remembered another Cherokee tale, the story of the Uktana, a great horned serpent that guarded treasures but could be outsmarted. "Fight smart, not hard," his father had said. So Tsisdu waited until the men slept. Then, like a ghost, he snuck into their supply tent. He found bags of flour and salt, their food for weeks. With a small knife, he poked tiny holes, mixing in dirt and herbs that would spoil it all. Not poison, for Cherokee's respected life, but enough to make bellies ache and plans falter. As dawn broke, Tsisdu raced back to the village. That day, groans echoed from the settlers' camp. Men clutched their stomachs, too sick to work. Harlan cursed the cursed land. But this was just the beginning. Tsisdu knew one trick wouldn't win the war. Over the next weeks, Tsisdu became a legend in whispers. He loosened wagon wheels at night, so they broke on rocky pass. He led deer herds away from settler traps, leaving them empty-handed. Once he even painted warning symbols on their tents, Cherokee signs for spirits watch. The settlers grew uneasy, talking of ghosts and curses. "This place is haunted," one muttered. But Harlan was stubborn. He called for more men from town, armed with rifles. They patrolled the river, eyes sharp. One night they caught Galilahi scouting. They tied him up, accusing him of theft. "Your kind doesn't belong here anymore," Harlan snarled. Word reached the village like a hawk's cry. Tsisdu's blood boiled. His father, the man who taught him everything, captured? This was personal now. "I will free him," Tsisdu declared to Amma. The chief nodded, seeing the fire in his eyes. "Remember the two wolves inside us all," she said, recalling the famous Cherokee parable. "One is evil, anger, greed. The other is good, kindness, bravery. The one you feed wins." Tsisdu fed the good wolf. He gathered a small group of friends, boys and girls his age, quick and clever. They called themselves the Rabbit Clan. Together they planned. Using the forest's secrets, they dug hidden paths and set snares, not for animals, but for distraction. Under a stormy sky, they struck. Thunder rolled as Tsisdu's friends whooped like owls, drawing guards away. Tsisdu slipped in, silent as mist. He found his father bound to a tree. "Son," Galilahi whispered, "you shouldn't risk this." Tsisdu cut the ropes. "Family is mine to fight for, father." They escaped into the night, rain washing away tracks. But Harlan raged. The next day, he marched to the village with his men. "Give up the boy, or we'll burn it all," he shouted. The villagers stood firm. Amma stepped forward. "This land is ours by right of the ancestors. We will not yield." Tsisdu emerged from the crowd, standing tall despite his size. "I am the one you want," he said. "But hear me. The Great Spirit sees all. Fight us, and the mountains will fight back." Harlan laughed, raising his gun. But then a rumble shook the earth. The dam they built groaned, weakened by Tsisdu's secret sabotage. He had chipped at its base nights before. Water burst free, flooding the settlers' camp downstream. Tents washed away, tools lost. The men panicked, fleeing the cursed river. In the chaos, the Cherokees watched from safety. Harlan, soaked and defeated, glared at Tsisdu. "This isn't over, boy." But Tsisdu smiled. "It is for now. Go and remember. Fight for what is yours, but respect what is others." The settlers left, tails between legs. The river flowed strong again, crops grew, and Tsisdu's mother healed. The village celebrated with dances and feasts, honoring the rabbit who roared. Years passed. Tsisdu grew into a strong man, a leader like his father. He married a girl from the Rabbit Clan, and they had children who learned the tales. But peace was fragile. More settlers came, and the government forced many Cherokees west on the Trail of Tears. Tsisdu's family walked that path, hearts heavy. Yet they fought, preserving language, stories, traditions. In Oklahoma, where many resettled, Tsisdu became an elder. Around fires, he told his story. Life is a battle, he'd say, sometimes with arrows, sometimes with words, but always fight for what is yours, your home, your family, your spirit. Like the Cherokee, endure. The rabbit may seem small, but it outruns the storm. This tale inspires even today. In modern times, Cherokees fight for rights, land claims, clean water, cultural preservation. Think of Wilma Mankiller, the first female chief who battled for health and education. Or the warriors at Standing Rock, standing against pipelines on sacred ground. What is yours to fight for? Your dreams, your loved ones, your truth? Like Tsisdu, start small. Be clever. Feed the good wolf. The Great Spirit watches, and the wind carries victor songs. But let's dive deeper into Tsisdu's journey, for his story has layers like the mountains themselves. After freeing his father, Tsisdu didn't stop. He learned from the elders about herbal medicines and star maps, using nature as an ally. One night, alone in the woods, he encountered a real wolf. Not the inner one, but a gray-furred guardian. It stared at him, eyes glowing, then vanished. Tsisdu took it as a sign. Strength comes from within. As conflicts grew, Tsisdu organized secret meetings. He taught others to read the land signs, tracks, weather, animal calls. The forest is our shield, he said. They set up warning systems with bird whistles and smoke signals. When settlers approached, the village vanished like mist, only to return stronger. One pivotal moment came during a harsh winter. Snow blanketed the land, and food was scarce. Settlers hoarded supplies, refusing to share. Tsisdu led a daring raid, not to steal, but to trade hidden. He left baskets of woven crafts and furs at their door, taking only what was needed. Balance, he explained. Fight, but with honor. This act softened some settlers' hearts. A few, like a young man named Elias, defected. Elias shared knowledge of guns and laws. Not all of us are bad, he admitted. Tsisdu nodded. We fight the greed, not the people. Together, they uncovered Harlan's secret, fake papers claiming the land. With Elias's help, they sent word to distant chiefs and even white allies. A council formed, blending Cherokee wisdom with new ways. They presented evidence at a gathering, Tsisdu speaking boldly. This earth belongs to those who cherish it, he declared. The fight dragged on, but persistence won. Harlan fled, disgraced. The village thrived, a beacon of resilience. On the Trail of Tears, Tsisdu's spirit shone. He carried elders on his back, sang songs to lift hearts. We walk, but we do not break, he chanted. In the new lands, he planted seeds from home. Corn, beans, squash, the three sisters, symbols of unity. As an old man, Tsisdu sat with grandchildren. Life takes, but you must claim back, he taught. Fight for your heritage, your voice, be the rabbit that roars. Today, Cherokees embody this. From casinos funding education to artists reviving crafts, they fight forward. The Eastern Band in North Carolina holds ancestral lands, a victory of endurance. So, reader, heed Tsisdu's call. In your life, what battles loom? A job lost, a dream deferred. Stand like the mountains. Fight clever, fight kind, fight fierce. For what is yours is worth every step, every whisper to the wind.